Our shadow is the unconscious. What happens in the dark? The traits that make us nauseous, we'd rather have apart. Sometimes it's our power. Most times it's our pain. Often it makes us flower, if you can love through the shame. Acceptance is the key. Denial leaves you blind. Turn around and see who's following you behind. They hold all your chaos. They speak to your soul. It unlocks your wholeness. You just don't even know. Welcome, loves, to my channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your energy and your time with me. Today we are going to do a reading on how to help your shadow self. Your shadow self is, what you're unaware of, what you're unconscious of, what you don't know, what you don't see. It can be bad things, but it could also be a lot of good things that you don't see about yourself. So it just depends. It could be insecurities or fears, or it's your shame a lot of times. Or it could be it could be a fear of a bad thing, but it also could be like a fear of success, a fear of your own power, a fear of your own light, maybe a fear of intimacy. So it could be like codependency or something, but it could also be other things. So it just depends on what you're dealing with and what you don't see or know about yourself. We're on a mission here for healing, for wisdom, for wholeness. One of the sexiest words ever is integration. I love integration. I love the idea of combining our darkness and our light together to being our full powered self. Because you deserve love for all of the parts of yourself, not just the good things, not just the good qualities that you want to show the world, not just what you show on social media or your friends, not just the words you speak or the clothes you wear, but deep inside the things that don't come into the light, the things that never get seen, the things that are just so hidden and deep within you, the wounds, the unlocked treasures, all of it. We want to just integrate and heal and blend together so that you are your most authentic, real, beautiful self. But we'll never do that if we're unaware of it. Okay, so I will get started. After we do a little prayer, and then I will show you the photos. You're going to be picking a photo today, and then I'll put the timestamps below. You pick your pile and we'll go. All right? I love you. Okay. Dear Divine Father and Mother, dear our higher selves, my viewers' higher selves, thank you for being here. I welcome you. I invite you to come into this reading. Give your words, your energy, your divinity through me to my viewers. I pray for blessings for, my words, my writings, my cards, everything that's in this message. I want to bless my viewers and their lives and the lives of the people that they influence. I want to just give a message of thankfulness and healing, peace, prosperity, for wisdom, for clarity, for integration, for wholeness, acceptance, and peace. Thank you so much. I invite my fairies, my angels, my guides, the wise ones, the loved ones, all of the entities and energies that are about love, wisdom, clarity, peace, wholeness, and specifically that want to help give the message about how people can help heal their shadow side and be more aware and accepting. All right, thank you. Ashe, amen. So mote it be, and so it is. Let's get started. Okay, so today we're actually going to pick a photo because I have I have 4 photos from my trip to Turkey. And if you would like to see the more shots and the whole video vlog trip, then you can see it on my personal channel, just Kellyn Love, and you can see the whole trip to Turkey. But today we're going to be picking photos from my trip, okay? The first one is this street kitty, which there are kitties everywhere in Turkey. It is amazing, and they treat them a lot better than they do here in America. Okay, the second is this tower, this like very historical, like military firefighter tower that's in this amazing historical center of Istanbul. Okay. Then we have some spices. Actually, this might be rose tea. These might be teas. Herbs, spices, teas, you know. All that good stuff. And then the last picture is this old man in a banjo playing at the pier. Okay, so we have a kitty, a tower, some teas or spices, and then an old man at the pier playing the banjo for some change. Okay? All right, so pick your pile 1, 2, 3, or 4, and we will get started. All right, if you picked pile number 1, this kitty, then this is your reading. Okay, kitty pile. So if you can see by the streak, if you saw, the street cat is asking for food, and they're kind of begging at the little bistro cafe table. So intuitively from the picture, I'm just gonna say off the bat, your shadow self might need some care, might need some soul food, might need a place to feel like home. It might need better friends. It might need, again, better food, better sustenance. So that could definitely be literally, definitely could be that you need your body, like your soul needs your body to feel better, and that you need just more nutrition, more vitamins, maybe some supplements, something like that. It could be literal, that you need some food. Maybe you need to gain a little weight, or yeah, just eat some more, or just focus on your health a little bit more, like walk out in nature, get some rest, or maybe you do need to like fast to detox or something, but just check in with your body health. But I'm also getting that you need like soul food, things that really nourish your soul. So this might be things that is kind of the opposite, or not the opposite, but it might not be things that are particularly like quote unquote looking healthy, or being healthy to other people, but it makes you really, really happy. And that is what I consider soul food. So it could be just that you need a slice of cake and that would make you really happy, and that your soul just needs some substance and stuff that like fills you up and makes you feel like home. You think of the kitty, you definitely think of curiosity. So I would say that you would need some, your shadow self needs some help of being like interested in something new, being curious about something new. So getting into a new subject that really makes your soul happy, not just something that's for productivity, but something that makes you for creativity, or for, it could be for anything, just for beauty or fun or whatever experience. But yeah, I think your soul needs new experiences, and it's curious. So it wants you to be more curious about things, because it wants to explore and discover. It might also, your shadow self also might have things with like abandonment and neglect, which most of us do. So definitely look into how to heal that, whether that's a therapist, or a psychiatrist, or a healer, or just you really diving into self-care and self-love. But I do feel like, yeah, your shadow self is just a little bit, man, I want to say like malnourished, you know. And I think the way to nourish it is just by fun and happiness and peace and exploring spirituality, exploring the world, exploring, being curious, and feeding your soul with new, expansive people and places and stuff like that. And yeah, new friendships and new connections, I think, will really help with that, feeling neglected. And yeah, just obviously self-love is how you can heal abandonment, because if you learn that you'll never abandon yourself, you can never actually be abandoned. My kitty. Okay. Ma'am. She doesn't know what to do with all the incense smoke. Okay, so yeah, your soul needs some deep connection. It needs new connections with people, and it needs some eye contact. It needs somebody looking into your soul and accepting you, and you feeling at home in people's eyes. Yeah, and you seeing your inner beauty, I think, will really help other people see your inner beauty too, of course. But you looking at yourself in the mirror might really help. And just, that actually was helped me really transform and like awaken, was mirror healing. I think that's what it's called. But you can learn so much, you can connect with yourself so much by staring at your eyes in the mirror. And it's really trippy and really weird and strange at first, but you just sitting there and being with yourself, giving yourself the time, giving yourself the accepting eyes back at yourself, and seeing like what happens if a bunch of judgment is coming up, if a bunch of negative self-talk is coming up, then that's the test. You can see what you feel when you look at yourself in the eyes. Look at the eye contact. It was like looking straight at me. And so I think your soul is just like kind of begging for people to look straight at it. And that, first of all, just includes yourself. It's craving yourself to look at you and see who you are and love yourself, so that other people can look at you more lovingly and stuff like that too. But you have to have a deeper connection with yourself before you can have deeper connections with other people, right? Okay, so seeing how beautiful you are will really help your shadow self. I think maybe your shadow self feels a little bit ugly, and seeing your beauty would really, really help it. Seeing your healing powers. You have powers of healing. We all do. We all have the power to heal ourselves and heal others. It is our DNA. It is what we're here to do. It's how our body and the earth operates. It is self-healing, and yeah, you have these powers, and the more you tap into nature, and the more you just tap into Mother Nature, you will unlock and activate these powers. So look at yourself in the eyes, realize and connect with nature, feed your soul, and your shadow self will really be put more into the light, and you'll be so much more aware of what you have to heal, but just know that you have the ability to heal it. You also have a wild side that I'm gonna need you to judge for yourself where you're at in this. But either your wild side, I think it needs to be let out. I think you do maybe tame yourself a little too much. But if you have been like partying a lot and you feel like, no, I've been straight up in my wild side for a long time, then maybe your wild side needs to rest, or you need to redefine what being wild is to you. Either way, I would say that that's a good place to start. It's like, what is being wild to you? Is it just drinking and partying? Is it like, what is it? And how can you be wild sometimes? And then how can you let your wild side take a break, and when to bring it out, and, you know, let it be free, and then when to let it rest. You really, your shadow side has some, it's abandonment, it's neglect, it's value, it's your self-esteem, it's self-worth. You know, I say this with like a humble, kind of heavy heart, because we all deal with this stuff. I deal with this stuff, and it's just so hard to sometimes to get, you know, to really see yourself in a new light. But journaling, the mirror thing, you know, and just, learning how to drop judgment, because it's just not useful, and it really isn't improving you will improve so much better with self-love than you will with judgment and punishment. In psychology, rewards are proven to work better than fear. So just tell yourself that, like, this judgment isn't improving you. If you want to improve, if your judgment is there because it wants you to improve, I'm hoping that's why your judgment is there. It's not just straight bully you for no reason. But, you know, usually we're so critical because we want to improve ourselves. We want to be better. But just know that self-love and a reward system for yourself, like feeding your soul good food and good things and nourishment and compliments and things like that, actually will improve and heal yourself way better and more sustainably than judgment and fear could ever. So you just need to know that you're not bothering anybody. You're not annoying. You're not irritating. You're not ugly. You're not abandoned. You're not neglected. You are an amazing friend. You are strong. You are full. You are valuable. You are worthy. You are deserving. You are magnificent. You are a whole, beautiful, complete, divine person with healing powers, beautiful, beautiful eyes and spirit, and so available and for really deep, amazing connections. You are just know you are so valuable, and your shadow side needs to it needs to know its value. What your shadow side is unworthiness and things like that. So it needs to be just a little bit more understood. It wants you to understand yourself a little bit more. And it just wants to be seen as beautiful and powerful. And it definitely needs some more romance in your life, some intimacy, some deep connection, okay? It's been feeling a little dry, a little bit of a drought when it comes to romance, and just feeling beautiful and powerful and sexy and intimate, okay? All right, so now we will get into the cards. That's just what I wrote. All right. Okay, kitty pile. What does your shadow self need some help with? Connection, deep connections, intimacy, self-love. It could be balancing your feminine and masculine energies. But this is like the combining. There's a dark cup and a light cup. So it is like integrating your shadow and light side. And then this is all about connections and love between yourself and two people. And it's upside down. So your shadow self needs help with turning this upside down, filling up your cup, getting a cup of love from somebody else, accepting that cup of love, accepting your beauty, accepting the perfection in your flaws. That is the whole point of this video, is of your shadow self and all this stuff, to shed some light and to show how perfect and amazing you are, even with the things that you don't want to love. It's intimacy, it's connection, it's feeling beautiful, it's all those things. I just love when, those things align. Okay. What does your shadow self need help with? Yeah, just sustaining yourself and sustaining your soul and your peace and your happiness and stuff. Are you the mirror, the Two of Cups in the mirror, and I love myself. Yeah, okay. I look in the mirror, love yourself. I want you to be open to new connections and romance, but you definitely have to have new connections and self-love and romance with yourself first, right? Okay. We're healing ourselves. We're looking in the mirror. We're looking at our eyes. We're getting an eye-soul connection with ourselves, and then try to do that eye-soul connection with somebody else. How long can you look into somebody's eyes? That will show you how comfortable you are with yourself, how much you love yourself, and how good you are at receiving love and receiving that energy of being seen and intimate and connected. Your shadow self wants some help sustaining yourself, feeling structured and whole. So yeah, just being nourished and, like I said, and just they're like molding clay in the center of this. It's like a ball of clay. So I just see that of like you like holding on to your essence and really like understanding it more. So kind of playing around and exploring and like solidifying who you are and getting a better understanding of how you are, what you feel like, and really like understanding yourself more. And then we have the crone, which is a very mysterious, like wise, kind of witchy vibe. It definitely has a lot of wisdom and a lot of mystery, and yeah, it is about accepting the darkness, accepting the power within the darkness, the gem within the darkness. So yeah, accepting your magic, accepting your power. Oh my gosh, it's so synchronistic. I'm like, the mirror. Okay, anyway. What does your shadow self need help with? Set your sights higher. It says, increase your standards and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. Okay? It said it. It said it, not me. Set your sights higher. Increase your standards and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. That's what your soul needs help with, is for you to know your worth and your value more. And there's Mother Nature. Get into Mother Nature, because that'll help unlock your healing powers. You getting grounded and tapping into her will help, really, really help you heal yourself and get the power to heal yourself. But yeah, your soul wants more for yourself. It wants more value, more worth, more love, more connection. So set yourself higher, set your standards and like expectation. I mean, we shouldn't have expectations because that can lead to disappointments, blah, blah, blah. But for yourself and your life, at this point, you do. You need to set your expectations for your life higher, because you have so much more power than you realize. Okay. All right. Yeah. Set your goals, or yeah, increase your standards. Expect more for yourself. Yeah. Okay. Expect more for yourself, because it's coming. It's on the way. You have it. It's already here. You have this power. It's just about changing our belief system. Okay. What does your shadow self need help with? Truthfulness, understanding your truth. You know, it can get lost. We can just get lost of like who we are and where we're going and things, and what we're doing whenever, you know, sometimes we just end up in a place or in a job or a relationship or whatever, where it's like, okay, this is, you know, where I'm supposed to be or whatever. But your soul might be like, this isn't me. Like, I don't know who this is. This wasn't my purpose or my, I didn't choose this or whatever. We just kind of fell into it. So it might be that you just need to kind of align with your truth a little bit more, whether that is like change your job or change your connections or change your location, or just talk to people about your truth and what you're feeling. Like maybe you kind of just bottle up and don't express yourself. But yeah, there's a truth that needs to be let out within you, and then your soul wants you to live more in your truth. So that means being more bold and being more like active and connected to where you're really supposed to be, that makes you happy and that makes you feel like you're fulfilled, beyond money and beyond any kind of status or whatever. Okay. What does your shadow self need help with? Last cards. Okay, so we get the truthfulness card, and then we get illusion, and the Queen of Swords was all about cutting to the truth. And the word on here is perceptive. So new perception, you might be confused again because of maybe where you are in life, the people, like friends around you. Like sometimes we have friends, right? And it's like, did you really choose them, or did they just kind of happen to fall into your life? Did this job just happen to fall into your life? So look, because there might be a lot of things around you that your soul didn't really choose. Like it didn't really, if it had the choice, it wouldn't pick it. It's not like benefiting you and helping you grow and things like that. So getting clear about who you are, getting clear about who's around you and how they influence you and how they make you feel, being clear about how your job is making you feel and how it's determining your value. Like, are you getting your value from your job? Are they valuing you correctly? Because I could see that your soul might be a little bored and confused. So that's why it just needs the truthfulness. It needs higher heights. It needs a new vision. It wants to be sustained in something more than just like money, like financial stability. Of course, we all need that. We have to feel safe and protected, but you're not going to feel stable and secure and sustained just with money. You're going to need connection. You're going to need intimacy. You're going to need soul food that's more than just actual like food. It's going to be things that light up your fire and make you feel grounded and make your mind brainstorm and give you ideas, and the things that make you feel passionate. And it's those things it's like the stuff that makes us really like live and motivated. That's the soul food. Okay, so getting that connection again with yourself, getting that intimacy with yourself, look in the mirror, get into nature definitely, and really try to discover your truth and talk to other people about what you're feeling. And that vulnerability will really help. And just living in your best, boldest self will really feed your soul. Being a little bit more out there, being a little bit more colorful or exotic, or dressing up or something like that really makes you live in your unique weirdo truth, because we're all weirdos. So getting into what really makes you strange and beautiful and amazing will help you with that self-love. And you've got magical powers. You've got mystery, you've got intuition, you've got healing powers. So you just got to tap into it and learn more about yourself. Set your sights higher. All right, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your energy. I hope that helped. I hope that you got something out of that and that your shadow self is like, thank you. Because it really doesn't want to feel more at home. And it's going to feel more at home with you living more in your truth. and realizing your worth and your power and the love and connection that that you have the ability for, the capability, the potential for. All right. I love you. Thank you. I'm moving on right now. All right. Okay. Pile number 2. If you picked the Tower, bold choice, I must say, to pick the Tower card. Just kidding. The Tower photo. So, Tower card. This is your reading. Tower photo. Your shadow self needs some clarity. Your shadow self needs a perspective change. Your shadow self needs you to speak the truth and or accept some truth. Your shadow self has a lesson that it needs you to learn. It is craving some illumination. It's craving some enlightenment. And the lesson that it needs you to learn is obviously something on a soul level about creativity and spirituality and your authority. Okay? Hopefully we figure out what that lesson is, but that's what I've got for it, is that it's about creativity, it's about spirituality, and it's about your authority within those. That's the lesson, okay? And yeah, your soul is craving more creativity and more illumination, more enlightenment. Maybe to go a little bit deeper. Your soul, your shadow self is asking, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point to life? What's the point to doing this? It wants you to know and be able to say it. Like, what is the point? Why am I here? I know I don't have all the answers, but I know that I'm here to help people with their shadow self, to bring love and light. Love is light or whatever. Actually, love is beyond light. It's the darkness too. Anyway, I'm here to help people, like as a light worker, as a shadow worker, as a creative, as an artist, a writer. I'm here for a lot of reasons. I'm here to do dumb jokes and give homeless people crystals and be stubborn. And, I'm here for a lot of reasons. But I'm here for a purpose. And the point that I'm here is to raise the vibration, to learn lessons in my life, to help my family, to help my friends, to help everybody I can influence, to heal generational stuff, to heal myself, to expand the universe, to help Mother Gaia, to help Mother Nature heal herself. I'm here to put good energy into the world and create. I'm here to do my art and all this stuff. I could go on and on, right? I have a point to why I'm here. That's my point, is that I'm trying to tell you that I have a list of why I'm here, okay? Your soul wants the list. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? It wants to know why. What's the point? and there's some sort of like realization, some sort of epiphany that needs to come through with that. Like, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we in this connection? Why are we in this job? Stuff like that. And why do we create? Or why are you here? Your soul has questions, and if you aren't in authority, why not? If you want to be an authority, why? Why do you want to be an authority? What will that do? But it's something around your authority, your spirituality, and your creativity, like your soul, and what you create, and how you're going to lead, or how you already lead, that your soul is like, I got some questions, I need you to answer. You have the answers. It's just, or the answers will come, or you'll have the epiphany for the answer, but it has some questions. I need you to answer. Your shadow has some questions for your light side. It's like, why? What's the point? It's a little almost like defeated or sarcastic, a tiny bit, but more almost like a test. Like, can you tell me, actually, like, what's going on? your soul, your shadow self is craving like a journey, like a soul journey. So that could be that you like Reiki healing or something that can, like a Reiki master can take you back into your past and get things up. And so you could go on like a journey to your past. You could go, there's like meditations and things that people can do where they can bring you back to like 2 years ago, 5 years ago, blah, blah, blah. They can even take you back before you were born. There's like shamanic people, you know, that have all sorts of power to get you into a really meditative state to get your soul to answer more questions. So we're trying to tap into that soul and get those kind of answers. So yeah, your soul is craving this like deeper journey to know about yourself and to get some answers. I guess there might be some like things that are kind of smoking or on fire. I don't that are in your life. It could be relationships. It could be something with a job or projects that you might have started, or exes or ex projects or whatever, lovers, anything. Something that's still smoking. Something that's like you need to put a fire out or two. I don't know. But there's something that you need to extinguish. That your shadow self is like irritated by or distracted by or hurting still about something. Yeah, think of relationships or yeah, business or any kind of thing. But it's something where it's like it needs to be extinguished. There's some things that from a past that need to be extinguished so that you can like cool, calm down. Yeah, I see that there's some steps that need to be taken, some climbing, some journey, taking some emotional work, there's like an emotional mountain that needs to be climbed. And I hate that I just said mountain because that seems like a lot, and I'm sorry. But it is some like emotional, just maybe learning about like emotional intelligence, or just, it's just emotional healing. Or it's you just need some emotional connections in your life, and maybe you haven't had very good examples of that or something, but it's about just taking the steps, and the first step to all of that emotional healing is vulnerability. Okay, so vulnerability with yourself and with others, and especially if you're going to be an authority, humility and vulnerability, especially when it comes to emotions, is so important, because that really makes a good leader. Because we have a lot of leaders that are like cold and detached or whatever, and that are like kind of talking down at people. It's like a boss. But a leader is right there with the people, pulling them up, and they're connected with the people more. And having that emotional connection with the people that you lead, I think is huge. I think that really is what makes a really good leader. Of course, you want to be able to detach from emotions when you need to, but like, you know, if you're in the time of fires, like this tower is a military firefighter watchtower thing, and I mean, it's also used for like entertainment and stuff too, but if you're in war, of course you can't really be all in your emotions, but after the war ends and the battles are not active anymore, you have to make sure that you go, and when I say put out those fires, you know, you put it out with water. Water is emotions, emotional fulfillment. Putting out those places that you've been wounded or irritated or angered with letting out your emotions and letting other people pour their love into you. So being vulnerable back and forth with people. And I also get that you might need, your shadow self needs help. Your shadow self needs help with receiving. Maybe you give, or you just have a thing where it's like you don't want to ask for help from anybody or something like that. But especially with emotions, it's like receiving, like letting people hold space for you so that you can be emotional. Like maybe you think like, oh, I wouldn't want to burden them with my emotions, or that takes too much time, or nobody wants to see me cry, or whatever. It's that kind of thinking that's like not allowing yourself to be vulnerable or to cry or to have the time, or letting, like, you're not letting other people give you space and time. And your soul needs for you to receive space and time from other people. Okay? Your soul kind of needs a renaissance. It needs that creativity, that spirituality, the authority thing. But really, yeah, the lesson, it wants a rebirth in your creativity and your spirituality. And yeah, just to know your shadow self needs help telling your light self, your more conscious self, that it's okay to not be strong. And let me just tell you, vulnerability is one of the strongest things you can do. So that's why I say it's okay to not be strong, because I'm talking about the distorted version of strong. The one that we have in society that's like all about brute strength and muscle and just being cold and detached or whatever sometimes. I'm talking about the strength that it takes to be emotional with somebody and open up your heart. That is strength. And so it maybe it's like redefining what strong means to you. But yeah, your soul needs creativity, it needs passion, it needs spirituality, it needs connected to divinity, because you do have so much power, so much strength, so much authority, so much influence. You have so much influence. So really being able to tap into your creativity, to your spirituality, and to your emotions is going to really make you more whole and healed. Okay? So yeah, learning how to receive. Your boundaries are good, but sometimes they're too much. Sometimes that you putting up too much of a wall, too much of a castle around you, and nobody can get in, not even yourself. Okay? So we want to allow for more flow, more creativity, more spirituality. That's the flow. The emotions, creativity, spirituality, that's flow. And then yeah, your soul's craving some illumination, some enlightenment, and some opening up. Okay? All right. Let's pull some cards. So yeah, it's about speaking your emotional truth. And coming to some realizations within your emotions. And I'm getting that you're pretty damn stubborn. And then from one Taurus bull stubborn mother to another, I get it. But yeah, we got to learn how to break those walls down a little bit. All right, what does your shadow self need help with? Okay. Thinking maybe that you have to do it all on your own sometimes, and that you have to be so independent, might not actually be helping you, because you might be even more prosperous and more abundant if you can accept help and connection and love from other people. But you are so intuitive and smart, creative, spiritual, I'm telling you. But I don't know if you tap into that too much, but you are this just divine, powerful person, and that you really could have some healing and like spiritual authority, like I want to say like shamanic, or yeah, you could just really be a healer and a spiritual leader. But maybe you're like so more into the 3D world, the like practical, rational world, that you don't think about that like woo-woo, flowy stuff as much. But your soul is craving the flowy, woo-woo stuff, okay? It really needs it. Because there's so much more to the world than what we have numbers for, what we have facts and words for. There's so much more to this experience than what humans have been able to describe or experiment or write down so far. So yeah, it needs more depth. What does your shadow self need help with? Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. I mean, you got the High Priestess and the Mystic, and then you got the Mountain, and I put Emotional Mountain. Yeah. So you have a fortress around you. You are so barricaded and protecting yourself, which I get, I understand. We want to protect ourselves. Like, thank you to your soul for protecting you or whatever. But now it's time to open up. Now it's time to let that inner fire out. Now it's time to let that emotion and the flow and the world just flow. To let your creativity come to you. So much creativity wants to come through you, but you have so many walls. Yeah, okay. But you got the mystic and the high priestess. Like, you have so much intuitive power, so much healing possibilities, so much, yeah, like I said, shamanic, and then the mystic comes out. I'm like, you have whatever authority that you might have at work, relationships, or whatever, that's like 3D, like when I say 3D, I just mean like very worldly, rational, logical, what we're used to. If you have authority in that kind of world, you have so much more even than you could realize in the spiritual realm. Okay. And even if you don't have a lot of authority or whatever, that's what your soul needs help with accepting, is that you have this creative and spiritual and emotional and healing authority in your life and the lives of others. But I don't know if you know it yet. Or you need to know more about it. Okay, what does your shadow self need help with? Okay. Maybe you don't believe you're ready for something, and your soul needs you to know that you are ready. You're ready for this. You're ready for the journey. You're ready for the enlightenment. You're ready for the next step in your soul's expansion. What does your soul need help with? Authenticity. Your shadow self needs help with some authenticity, which I really believe that has to do with being vulnerable and showing your showing your true self, showing who you are, and yeah, just being more bold with your creativity and allowing that to come to you and seeing the value in it. Your shadow self needs help with activating your crown chakra, with being connected to the divine, because you've been repressing your emotions. Literally, okay. You've been repressing your emotions, and you've been repressing your spiritual and creative side, okay? So it needs that to be opened up so it can flow and you can be this divine channel, all right? Yeah, it's a lot, but you can do it, you've got it, and so much beautiful flow is going to come to you. All right, so I know that's a big message of tough love, but so much is going to come in for you if you can learn how to open up and receive this flow, all right? I love you. Thank you for letting me share my energy with you, for letting us share each other's energy. And yeah, have an amazing rest of your day. Maybe put a little message below if it resonated and you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, I love you. Bye. Pile number 3. If you chose this tea, oh, come on, hold on. It's tea and spices, these herbs, and I think it's a big pile of like rose tea. Yeah, anyway. If you chose that photo, this is your reading. Okay, what I wrote down for you is that your shadow self needs it. Obviously, all of our shadow selves are kind of misunderstood, but your shadow self would like some help knowing or believing that being misunderstood is okay, that it is totally fine to be understood, and you don't have to. People don't have to understand you, you know? You can be misunderstood and weird and strange, and as long as you understand yourself, you love your uniqueness and whatever, all of your goodness, then it doesn't matter, okay? You pick the spices for a reason, you know? You are passionate and flavorful, and so your soul is going to crave more of that. Your shadow self needs that. And maybe you've maybe been like shamed in the past for how much passion and love and flavor and heat and maybe sex, maybe for how much darkness you need, maybe for how much taboo things you need, maybe for how much sweetness you need in life, or variety or depth. Maybe you've been kind of shamed before because you would like need too much of those things. Like why aren't you just happy with what you have? Why do you need to be kinky? Why do you need to go travel the world? Or why do you need so much passion or whatever? So maybe you've shamed yourself because you're too much. And that's what your shadow self needs help with healing, is that you're not too much. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with needing a lot of passion, with needing a lot of heat in your life, with needing a lot of sweetness in your life. And if that's your calling and it feels good and it makes you feel good about yourself and do good things for the world or whatever, then please like embrace that that's the best part of you, that you're so flavorful and you're so ambitious and different and maybe kinky or whatever. But the taboo parts of yourself are really what make you. So yeah, it's just the shame around the things that make us weird, you know. It's really hard to heal that, but that's what your shadow self needs help with. Because it just wants to be free. Your shadow self is all about, I mean, I'm guessing, is all about freedom. And freedom includes like letting yourself be dark, letting yourself be sad, letting yourself be sexy, letting yourself be sultry and intense and, dangerous and stuff sometimes. But your shadow self needs a lot of that kind of thing. It needs a lot of freedom. It needs a lot of the like kind of extremes of life. And so if you're playing it safe, if shame has made you do it where you're playing it safe, let me just tell you, your shadow self is bored. Your shadow is like, can we liven it up? I need a lot of passion and I don't have much. Like, I need a lot of taboo weird things and I don't have enough weird things. Like, your shadow self needs some weird stuff in your life. It needs some flavor in your life. Anyway, I put psychedelics ? Just saying, your soul is craving some fun, some experiences, some passion, some experiences. But I say psychedelics because, especially too, because if you are doing other drugs that are like more chemically or toxic, and that could be like coffee, it could be cigarettes, it could be soda or TV or processed food, it could be like energy drinks or different things. Because I'm guessing if your soul is craving all of this stuff and you're not getting those experiences, you're going to be going to certain like chemical highs. Like if you're not getting adrenaline, if you're not getting a lot of passion and endorphins or whatever from that way, then I'm guessing you're going to try to get it from more like chemical, a little bit more artificial, whatever, because that's what's safe. That's what's like not shamed in society, right? Like coffee isn't shamed, even though it's like what it's a major addiction for people. Sugar isn't ashamed as much, not as much as like sex or different things. So I say psychedelics because that could really help your soul or whatever, but also like maybe doing more natural drugs, doing more things that are like more plant-based, and things that aren't like mushrooms or whatever are something that on the scale is not as addictive, and it is more natural, and it's like connecting you with more of Mother Nature, whereas like cocaine or something is like very chemical-y and not connecting you with like vibrations of people and whatever. So it's just being able to use your discernment that like if you are seeking, if you're a pleasure seeker, experience, a passion, a taboo, an extreme seeker, to making healthier swaps, right? Like I'm all about like if you don't try to go on a diet just and try to change your whole thing, just try to, if you know you crave cheese, then maybe try a vegan cheese that or whatever that like it's just in a diet. Like if you can try to get your fix that you want, but with an ingredient that's healthier. So you're still getting that fix that you need, but with something that's better for you. I hope that makes sense. Okay, your shadow self needs more greenery in your life, like more plants, more Mother Nature, literally more like, oh, I just pointed because I thought I had my green background. But yeah, just more green in your life because your heart needs, it'll help your heart chakra, okay? Color therapy. And also more femininity. Your shadow self is asking for more heart activation, sacral, passion, but very, try to be as safe and natural as possible. But then, yeah, go for it. Have fun. If you're safe, if you're doing things that feel natural and feel good, go for it. We don't want any more added shame. So you see, so it needs more heart chakra, more passion, and then more femininity. You need more like creativity and feminine experiences, or just letting that like flow, that side of you flow a little bit more, which is getting out of logic and more into emotions and experiences and feelings and creativity and stuff, spirituality. Yeah, so you need your shadow self is asking for more sensuality within yourself, like to yourself, like more pleasure, self-pleasure, pleasure with other people, and also like more. Sensuality is not just about sex; it's also about like senses. Like right now, we've got tea, I've got fire, I've got my thing of like roses, I got feathers and I've got 2 different kinds of incense or whatever. I'm all about senses. Like that's how I ignite myself and raise my own vibration, as I got lots of candles, lots of scents, lots of visuals. I got all my crystals. I just have everything that I really love in front of me, a lot of colors in front of me and things that are helping stimulate me. Your shadow self needs stimulation. You need some stimulation, but like the more spiritual, the better, obviously. Okay. And then it needs some, sultriness, some savory, some sweetness. The senses, some better palate, but not like processed food. If you're going to get those things from food, really try to be like, go to a restaurant or a grocery store or something that like where you can try an exotic fruit or a meal that you've never had, a flavor, spice or something that's a little bit more natural, not just like a new flavor of drink, like sugary drink or something. Okay, your shadow self is feeling a little bit repressed when it comes to love, when it comes to passion, and when it comes to like creating. It is asking for you to do more things, like creating more things with your hands, touching more things, touching more people, maybe being more affectionate, like giving more hugs, kissing people on the cheek. It's like really craving that kind of stuff. And also just like peaceful meditative activities, like being in nature. I don't know why I thought of like Tai Chi. I think that's what it's called, where it's like you're like doing this like flowy movement. Anyway, your shadow self is asking you to please trust your truth, trust your light, and trust the transition that you're in, okay? If things are transitioning around you, trust the process, trust the change. So in heart healing, again, heart, you need greenery, you're really needing some color therapy will really help with this because it's, just something around your heart needs some healing, and I really feel like it's about shame and what you've been shamed for when it comes to love and passion and what you desire. Like, your desires are not bad, and everything that you desire is amazing and good and your birthright and whatever. We just want to try to make your desires as healthy and like natural and safe as possible, right? Like, we want you to be in a safe environment with safe people that you can trust. Like, do all the kinky, crazy BDSM, whatever things you want to do, right? Like, you can get as painful and dangerous or whatever as you want and let your soul express that. But let's not do it with crappy people. Let's not do it with people that you don't completely trust 100%. Like, those things are only really fun for your soul and your darker side if it actually is in a safe environment. Anyway, okay. So also, I'm getting this thing about your heart is like, you might be rejecting some affection from, I want to say, like your mom or your family, or maybe it's somebody that like you don't consider somebody that's like the right partner for you or something. Like, somebody wants to give you a lot of love, but you're like, no, I'm too good for you, or no, you're just not right, or whatever. But it's like, deep down, like in your heart, like the sweetness is good for you, or the love is good for you, or whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be forever, but just accepting some more of that affection, accepting more of the compliments, like not brushing them off or saying that, just not blowing off a compliment, or taking the opportunity to actually hug them, like not dodging the hug and the kiss when you come and meet somebody or something like that. Also, if you are not feeling valued at work or in relationships or anything like that, definitely that'll help with that heart chakra. Getting into places and people and relationships, projects, whatever, where you really feel like you're valued. But yeah, your home, your shadow self is asking for your home to be a little bit more like elevated in vibration through sensory stimulation. Yeah. Taste, sight, like get some paintings on the wall, get some plants, some greenery, get some incense, some candles, things like that will really help change your vibration. And yeah, also something with your heart that is stopping it, or stopping your heart, that's blocking it, is trigger warning maybe, I don't know, is jealousy and heartbreak, okay? Those two things are closing and hurting your heart. Past heartbreak will end up, or can lead us to jealousy and things, because, we want that. We want that wholeness. We want that goodness or whatever. So when we see other people with it and we don't have it and it seems so far away from us, that's when it feels the jealousy. Like, if you feel really close to having the perfect relationship, whatever, and you see somebody else with an even more perfect relationship, you're not that jealous, because you're like, well, I'm on my way, I'm almost there or something. But when it's so far away, when it seems so out of reach, when it seems like you'll never find the person or whatever, or you just went through a big heartbreak and then you see somebody that's like deeply in love or getting all these flowers on Valentine's Day, of course it can hurt. But so diving into that, like, what are you jealous about really, and sitting with that for a second, and then really seeing somebody, or your friends, a healer, or yourself, or whatever, to really go into the heartbreak that you might still have from things. That's what your shadow self is asking for, some help with jealousy and heartbreak. Okay? And accepting affection. And accepting change, accepting affection, accepting goodness, like just accepting goodness, accepting the passion, accepting the love. And your sacral needs to clear out some shame for how passionate and, like, I want to say like a baddie, like just how wild you can get, or how unique you are, or strange, or whatever. Like, that strangeness is beautiful. It's definitely what makes you you, and it just really wants to be fully embraced. So yeah, and again, it's okay if you're misunderstood. That's all right. That's all right, okay? All right, so that's what I wrote down. Now we will get into your cards. Okay, there might be shame about like you being like resourceful or anyway, I'll move on. Accepting affection, accepting emotion. What does the spices tea pile need help with their shadow self? What does their shadow self need help with? Wanting new passion, new creativity, new sex, new toys. Maybe you just need some new toys. New pleasure, new ideas, new passion, new affection. Stop doing things with your hands, letting people put their hands on you. And you accept, like, in a fun, sexy way. You putting your hands on other people in a fun, sexy way. You accepting love, accepting passion, getting new love and new passion into your life. Of course, that always starts with new self-love and new self-passion, self-pleasure. But yeah, there's just so much that wants to grow. But you just really need these new ideas, new passion, new experiences, whatever. Like I said, your shadow self's bored, or what you might be unaware of is that you're so deeply craving these like naughty things or something like that. Yeah, okay. There's like a treasure chest within you that wants to be open. Ugh. Okay. I don't know why I'm getting frustrated, but you might be like sexually frustrated, or your shadow self sexually frustrated, or just frustrated. I don't know. Okay, what does your shadow self need help with? Chill. Okay. It says, dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself. See yourself succeeding. So this passion or whatever, this newness that wants to come in, these new experiences, these new senses and stuff, it also is really about you bringing in these new vibrations, new experiences, whatever, is so to be more successful. It's about dreaming and letting yourself dream, and because maybe you shut down, like the shame and stuff shut down a lot of how you dream about relationships, or dream about your job, dream about whatever, your projects, anything, but allowing yourself to dream again and to fantasize again. Fantasize about yourself, fantasize about others, fantasize about love, everything. Your shadow self needs help with fantasizing. Okay? And just, yeah, knowing how worthy you are of those fantasies. Like, it's not just to dream and fantasize for no reason. It's to dream and fantasize because you can have that. And if you don't dream and fantasize about it, you will never have it. But if you dream and fantasize it, and if you can see it in your mind, you can get it in your reality. I believe that for you. But you would have to believe in yourself. You'd have to give yourself self-love. You would have to chase your passion, chase your joy. You have to chase new experiences and new opportunities and things. So it's about you really taking life by the and knowing that if you can dream and have the confidence, you can have it. Like you can have the most flavorful life you could ever imagine. Okay? All right. But yeah, listening to yourself and your own ideas and spirit and the creativity that comes through you. Like if you have a little fantasy or a little like idea or whatever, to not brush it off and really listen to that and be like, well, what's that about? Like being a little bit curious about yourself and your ideas and where these thoughts are coming from. And if you have this kind of dark taboo thought, to not just like brush it away, being like, how could I actually, like, if my soul's craving something like that, maybe not that exact thing, but how could I get a little bit of that darker, naughty stuff into my life? Okay. I think it's funny. I love the naughty. All right. What does your shadow self need help with? This has definitely been a theme for pretty much all the piles. Healing and vulnerability. I really get the healing, the shame, and the healing has a lot of green on it. Her like whole outfit is green. Yeah, healing your heart, healing your heartbreak, healing intimacy things, about like what you deserve and what you're worthy of. Just self-healing from relationships and shame, and how maybe you shut down some of the passion and creativity and whatever, and that's hurting your like stomach and lower like areas, and maybe making your period worse or whatever because you're tight down there, if you're a woman. And yeah, so being able to be open and free and feel like you are perfect just the way you are, with your desires, whatever your desires are, and that you're perfect just like that, and that you're, just because you're naughty doesn't mean you're not innocent, you know, like just because you like to get dirty, or you like whatever you like, does not mean that your soul is not pure. And yeah, maybe innocent is no, I like innocent. Your soul is perfect, it's innocent, it's pure, no matter what you do. You have this innocence about you. What happens is that we get hurt and things get distorted and whatever, but we can always come back to that innocence if we choose, if we heal, if we learn how to integrate and just heal ourselves. We can always come back to that pure divine essence. So vulnerability with yourself, and opening up your realm of possibilities when it comes to passion and connection and sexiness and things. And then healing your heart. Your heart needs a lot of healing. It is like tight and blocked and things. Okay. What does your shadow self need help with? Oh my goodness. Okay, so you might be in over-analysis paralysis. Your shadow self is just craving that you accept all of yourself. And that's what this whole reading is about, is accepting all of your kinks, all of your flaws, all of your quirks, all of your mistakes. Yeah, your mistakes were lessons that your soul wanted to go through so that you would learn. So feeling shame about you advancing, expanding, and, like every time we do something bad or whatever, we go through a lesson, we learn something, we get compassion for other people that have been through those things. We gain a lot. And even though we can't see it, to shame that is like totally disregarding all of the things, the goodness that can come from it. So being able to just embrace all of yourself and all of your mistakes and all of your past and all of those things. And then being able to use your intuition more, and just using your intuition, trusting it, trusting yourself. Yeah, but trust your truth, your light, and your transition. Trusting your mind. And that will help you get your being more into that little like fantasy world, and believing that that's possible to bring some of that fantasy into your reality. And that, and so you can dream. you dreaming more sexually, your sacral chakra is your sexual and creative center. So the more you open yourself up sexually, the more you open yourself up creatively in a safe, healthy, beautiful way, you will then have that power to bring that creativity and to bring that creative and just straight, pure power into the other areas of your life besides sex, your work and your school or whatever. So you will be able to dream more when it comes to your career if you can fantasize more in bed. Okay? Understanding that you are a gem, that you have gems inside of you, and that your uniqueness, the things that maybe you've been shamed for, usually that's what happens, is that the stuff that makes us the most unique and special, we get shamed for. But the gem inside of you, there's all this blockage, right? That we were trying to clear and heal and everything. But that pure essence really wants to come out, and it takes vulnerability, it takes healing, it takes embracing all of you, and having the courage and the passion to dive in and be curious about yourself to find this gem. But yeah, allow that passion to come in, allow the gem to shine, and your heart to be full again. All right? I love you so, so much. You are so deserving of love and passion and all the freakiness that you just want, if that's what you want. Yeah, I love you so, so much. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. Put maybe a rose emoji down below if you pick this pile, or a diamond or something. Let me know if it resonated or if you enjoyed it. I love you. Thank you. And you're perfect just the way you are. All right? I love you. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff if you enjoyed. Okay, moving on. Okay, last pile number 4. If you chose Mr. Banjo Man, this is your reading. I love Mr. Banjo Man. He was just a little bitter, a little bit angry. So just gonna start off the bat saying that your shadow self might need some help releasing some tension, okay? You might have your eyebrows kind of tense a lot sometimes. We need to release the tension, release the anger, and release some disappointment, okay? That's what your shadow self needs help with. Tension, anger, and disappointment. Don't we all need help with that, right? Releasing that, it's releasing the past. It's releasing, tension is something that's active. It's something that's present. It's something that is, it's painful. It's something that we're actively having to, like, if you want to be relaxed, you actively have to breathe and focus on relaxing your muscles. I don't know if you see those posts, but it's like, okay, relax your jaw, unfurrow your brow, relax your jaw, drop your shoulders. We need those reminders because it's just so easy to get like scrunched up and just tense and tight and things. So really, like, do some yoga, and then healthy outlets are the key for your shadow self. And obviously, like, no shame at all. That's definitely not the point of this. We definitely don't want any of that. We all deal with these things. So when I'm saying it, it's like, I feel for you. You're healing or whatever. So obviously you're on the right track. You're doing good. And bravo for letting yourself be creative. But yeah, disappointment is hard because it's about like having expectations and then those not happening. So then we get to this point where we're like, well, I can't expect anything from anybody or anything like that. So we don't want to bring those past experiences into our future, right? We don't want to bring the past into our present. We don't want to bring that tension from, we don't want to get tense from old things. We want to be in the present and be relaxed in it so that the present can flow through into us. Getting healthy outlets for the bad emotions, for sadness, for anger, because anger is a secondary emotion, they say. So first it starts off as fear or sadness, and then when it gets bottled up and tense and pressurized or whatever, then it becomes anger, and then disappointment and things like that. So it's about being able to have a space or people or an activity that will allow you to open up and loosen up. I wrote really big, let some things out. Your shadow self needs help with just letting some things out, letting go, releasing some tension, and screaming, punching, and maybe there might be ways of getting your anger out. We definitely don't want to hurt anybody. But there might be ways of doing things that you are getting your anger out that you might be like, that's bad, or that's just, we got to be really careful with not shaming ourselves, but also being able to let these energies out. And sometimes on our way to be healthy, we do things that are not, quote, healthy, but they're still on our healing path. So there might be things that you want to do, maybe you're so bottled up, you need to drink a little bit so that you open up. And it's maybe that doesn't look very good to the outside. Maybe your future self does not want to drink and doesn't think that's a good idea for itself. But right now, maybe you do need some substance help or something to cry, to release the anger or whatever. And it's not saying that that's something that should sustain you or that should be forever fixed or anything, but you do need some assistance of getting some things out. And so as long as you're actually being safe and you have safe people or whatever, so that you're not actually hurting anybody, obviously, and you don't want to hurt yourself either, but doing some things that release that anger that might be a little dangerous or might be a little bit, quote unquote toxic or whatever, but it's actually more toxic for you to hold on to this stress, this tension, and this anger. So if that gets you through this, whatever that is, it's okay. Definitely don't shame yourself more or anything for that, for that, because you just need to express yourself, okay? Your shadow self needs help with expression. You express yourself. I think you are creative. You have a song, you have art, you have writing, you have, it could be a podcast. It could be just you expressing yourself through politics or something. It wants more. And I think that you're maybe putting a cap on your expressing yourself. And that comes from you being tense, the tension that you have. When it comes to self-expression and creativity, and please don't focus on the money, because that'll actually put more tension and it will restrict the flow, which you need in creativity and what you need for increasing your money, increasing your finances. You need that flow. And if you're tense and so focused on the money, it can't flow and you won't get it. Your shadow self needs help accepting more self-belief and knowing that people believe in you, and that to hear it. It needs to hear that people believe in you and that they like accepting compliments. Okay, goodness, you are really, really talented, and your shadow self needs help a little bit with validation, and maybe you don't allow yourself to be validated. But yeah, your shadow self needs help with that. It needs help with seeing the joy around you more. The whole smell the roses, stop and smell the roses. It needs some of that. It needs to see the beauty around you. Like this guy, there's this little wall, or this short wall, but right on the other side is the whole ocean. There's like people fishing and families and balloons and all these. Upstairs was like food and tea and beautiful views and stuff, and he's just like tucked in this corner, and it's like he doesn't see it. And so it's easy for him to just be in his little thing and kind of angry playing his banjo, because he's in the corner just focused on how much people are giving him money, but it doesn't really seem like he's enjoying the environment. And if he was laughing, if he was smiling, if he was like making jokes or singing more joyfully or making the experience around more joyful, I bet he would make a lot more money. And that's kind of the point, is that I get why we become jaded. I get why we become angry and disappointed and tense. This is not to shame you for why you're like that. We all get like that. I completely understand. I'm just saying, if you want to make more money, if you want that flow, if you want to help out your shadow self, it just wants more joy. And that will lead to more money, more success, more creativity. So yeah, it's just being able to see the beauty and the happiness around you, and then being able to accept that for yourself, accept it from other people, accept it into yourself, and then giving it back to other people through your words and song and creativity and writings or whatever. So yeah, it wants you to like stop and smell the roses. I'm hearing like stand up, look up. So pick your chin up a little bit. It needs you to kind of stand up and look around to see how blessed you are, where you're at, and how far you've come. It needs you to move around. It needs you to dance and change some things up a little bit. Your shadow self needs you to take back your power, because blaming other people, blaming other people or being disappointed or mad because of other people, even if you have the right to be like that. And I totally get, if you went through heartbreak or really shitty situations, that it can get you to that place. But ultimately, you're giving those people in those situations your power by being disappointed and angry and sad because of what's happened. It's over. So if you can work on healing that part of yourself, you're going to be taking your power back, because right now, if you're sad because of something that somebody else did, you're giving them your power. If you're disappointed or angry because of something somebody else did, you're giving them your power. And if they hurt you, they definitely don't deserve your power. Nobody deserves your power. You should have all of your power, no matter what. But especially if people are doing things, or if they've hurt you or whatever, they definitely don't deserve your energy. They definitely don't deserve your power. And you deserve to be joyful. Your joy and your success is the ultimate revenge. Not that you should be seeking revenge, but yeah. Just being your shadow self wants that authenticity. I think because you are creative, it really just wants to show the world not what you have done, but what you still have to offer, and the potential to open yourself up to the potential of what you could create, and to not just stick to what you have created in the past, but being open to what you can be inspired by. Your shadow self just wants you to be a little bit more positive, a little bit more optimistic, and accepting of change. Definitely some heart and in third eye healing, and a lot has to do with grief. So heartbreak, death, certain things like that, I know are so hard to get over, but that's what your shadow self is asking for help with, is how do we heal this grief? How do we get more joy into our lives and accept the change? And I think you'll do that by speaking to people and being vulnerable, being open, just talking to people, or putting it in your song, putting it in your writing, putting it in your creativity, in your painting or whatever, putting it in your practice or your creations of what you've gone through and whatever. I think that'll help you get over that anger or disappointment or whatever, is being able to put it into something creative, a project, painting, a song, whatever, a story, a book, anyway. Anything? Okay. Your shadow self needs you to be less cruel to yourself. I think you might bully yourself sometimes. You might have some like self-hatred. But you're just so hard on yourself. And yeah, it just really needs help with you not, the world is hard enough on us. We really don't need any more help. And it's not changing you in the ways that you maybe think it does or it might or whatever. It's not. It's actually like kind of diminishing your light. And you need that light to heal yourself and do certain things. And to do everything. So yeah, just self-love, 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 self-love. Always the message. Yeah, to give a little more to yourself. Like, so you can give your passions and creativity and talents to the world, you have to give them to yourself first. So really enjoy what you do. Like, sing a song to yourself, write a story to yourself, do something that just makes you laugh just for yourself. Something really valuable and preferably like creative or whatever, but do something really valuable just for you. And then that'll help you create more value that other people then can see and then pay you for and stuff like that. Really, it's wanting to change your sadness and sorrows into joy, right? So it's about embracing being more funny and humorous, like turning your tragedy into humor. That's really what tragedy is like, what is it? Like tragedy plus time or something is like humor. Or yeah, just tragedy and changing it a little bit, putting it into different context or different way of saying it or something like that. It makes something funny because you can cry or laugh, right? You can be angry or you can be hilarious. Like, there's just different choices of the same energy on like the different scale. It's like you can have one energy, but on one end it's like hatred, one end it's love, right? It's the same forceful, powerful thing, but it's how you choose to use it. So if you can kind of change the emotion behind the energy that you're feeling into something that helps you and others smile, you will get so much more success and be so much more whole and healed. Okay? Yeah. All right. So we gotta let things out, like shake it out a little bit. All right. Okay, let me pull some cards. That's what I wrote. Let's pull some messages. Also, it's about letting yourself being happy. Like, that's your justice. That's what you deserve. You don't deserve to be angry. You don't deserve to be in these lower states. You deserve the success or whatever. So, yeah, just embracing that and getting out of your own way and your own mental illusions and yeah, just your mental limits, your mental yeah, it's just this thing about you, self-hatred, being really cruel, judgment, analysis paralysis, these mental bonds and like weapons against yourself that are really confusing you, and that's what's making it, this third eye, really clouded. And yeah, the heart, being closed off and things. It's releasing yourself and just knowing that you deserve forgiveness. Everybody deserves forgiveness, but you really deserve it, and you deserve to not be judged, especially by yourself, as the self is right there. And yeah, you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to make yourself happy and to allow other people to help make you happy. You deserve to smile and to laugh and to be free. And so if you can get more into what you're doing, like more into your passion, what you're creating, and less into your head. If you can get into your body, get more into the music, get more into the dance, to the creation, into the connection, the conversation, instead of like thinking about the conversation as it's happening, be so into it that you're not thinking about it, you're just doing it. Like, that's what that energy that we're trying to get into, is that you're doing the thing, not thinking about the thing while you're doing it. Like, you want to be so in your body, so in the experience, so present that, that you don't have time to mentally sabotage. And I get it, and I really feel for you. I really, really feel for you. But right now, I just feel like, your mind is a little bit clouded and distorted. So, just getting into a new state of mind that's a little bit more lighthearted. You might need some mother healing. You might need an energy that's like mothering yourself. Like you might introduce yourself into a new way of self-loving yourself, which is like being a mother to yourself, and treating yourself so kindly and caringly, like the best mother that you can think of or whatever. Just because I just see you've got a lot of chaos in your head, and you need a voice that you can trust to clear things up and to take away these wounds and bonds and stuff. So it's like finding that mother voice within you. That's that intuition. If it feels like a good mother, then that's right. That's good intuition. Okay, what does this group need help with their shadow self? Yeah, just bringing some more sweetness into your life. You need some more sweetness, some more love, some more tenderness, but you have to know that you're deserving and know how to receive it to get it. It's stop and smell the roses, and getting into a more like feminine, sweeter energy. Yeah. Okay, what does this group need help with their shadow side? We got the mother and the father. You need mother and father healing. You might really need healing from your parents. Oh. This disappointment, anger, and like mistrust, I want to say, could be from your parents. Again, I get it. Parental healing is... we could spend a whole lifetime trying to, do that or working on that. And if you haven't started that journey, then it's time to start. But yeah, so being a father and a mother to yourself, really getting a new voices of authority and love into your head, and really being kind to yourself. Yeah. Also, if you don't have a spiritual figurehead, like the divine father and mother that we have, those energies in the universe, connecting into that obviously will be huge help if you can and will believe in that. Okay, what does this Banjo group need help with their shadow self? Got the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. I saw the strength earlier. You are so strong. You are so strong. But that strength, obviously, if it is jaded and doesn't have the love and that you deserve and all that, then that strength can turn into brutality. And so that's what I see, is that you have so much strength, but it's been turning into brutality to yourself. And it literally says cruelty and this like anxiety and these like demons, and it's keeping them up at night and everything. So I really, really feel for you. But we've got to figure out how to get more self-love and how to stop these mental spirals and limits and confining yourself, and you're just hurting yourself. So we really are hurting your heart, hurting your mind. There's just like bloody swords coming out of their chest and stuff. Okay, so we need to Focus on how beautiful you are authentically, how creative you are, how much potential and light and love you have within yourself, how much purity you have within yourself, how much humor and joy you have bottled up within yourself, that it's just one emotional tweak away of turning all this emotion that you've had that's keeping you tied up and twisted and hurt and pain. It really isn't this huge giant change. It's just being able to figure out certain things with healing and love, that self-love, that changes these emotions, because you know you have the power to. It's about empowering yourself to know that you have this ability to change the energy that you're putting towards cruelty and whatever, towards creativity, towards something that is going to bring you success and love and light and all these things. You have the power. And that's how you can tell, is that all the power that is going towards negativity, going towards cruelty, going towards, let's say, self-hatred, is all the power that you have to have self-love and to have beauty and to have compassion and potential and success and abundance. All of the failure that you have, that's the potential that you have for success. All the sorrow you have is the potential that you have for joy. All the pain you have is the potential that you have for pleasure. Okay? So it's about knowing that you have the power to switch the emotions of how you're feeling the energy. So all the energy that's coming through you, you have the power to change what it feels like. The amount of energy might stay the same, but you can change how it's being interpreted. Okay? You are so, so wise. You have so much wisdom within you. And you do have that analytical or intellectual brain, so it can run away and spiral into these negative thought patterns. But again, that's the power that you have for clarity. That's the power that you have for